Hi, my name is Matt Carroll with World Class Coaching with the Hope Academy Sports Coach 2024. I want to talk to you about a session that's designed to work on build-out play. So build-out play obviously is so important to helping develop our players technically, tactically, physically, and just an overall understanding of how the game works. We're far and away from the days of boot it and not to the middle and things like that. We're really trying to get players to be able to play and break lines and understand that concept. Now, when I talk about build-out play, I do talk about playing within the sense. So if we're going to sit and they're going to line up, I saw in the Euros the other day, I saw 2 or 3 guys lined up immediately about to press the keeper and one of the center backs, and they did, and then immediately got under pressure and then immediately lost the ball. And I was like, well, if the team's already up forward and you've already gotten them to press forward, then you should be looking to play something that breaks the line and get past that line that's already pushed forward. That's the point of build-out play, and really preaching that concept of not just, okay, we're going to build out because I need you to play short passes, and that's what Europe does, and this is how Spain plays, but helping them understand why we're doing this. If they're there, play long. If they're not there, play short, draw them in, and we're creating space behind them. Really attacking build-out play with a holistic thought process rather than this is what you're supposed to do because I told you and this is what the curriculum says. You have to understand why this is so important and why build-out play can lead to attacking advantages on the field. So what I start here is totally shadow play. We can keep this to 1 or 2 touch, and they're going to build out and try to score on one of these little pug goals. Super simple, okay? And what we'll do is every time they're successful, we will add an additional defender. Okay, so right now, not too hard, right? Play out the back, single press. This player's pressing. We'll 2, and we'll get up to, if we're playing with our full 11, we'll get up to full 11v11 and try to see what that looks like and see how the added pressure affects how we're able to play through. So we start seeing, okay, well, now I was playing out to my center back, out to my outside back who's having easy goal. Now, when the press is here, and there's not an opportunity to just kind of go straight up the line here, how do we change that? How does our body shape change? How does the 6 change their angle to support? How do we still try to break lines? Okay, maybe we're playing over the top because they were pressed up. What happens now when they've covered the middle of the field with the center mid? Okay, so the concept and the strategies are constantly evolving as we do this, and they're starting to pick up patterns, and they're starting to pick up how the press will affect the way they play. All right, if everyone overshadows this way and we start getting these guys, okay, maybe we play the outside. Then we add, oh no, they figured it out. Now they've got balance, okay? How do we break that balance and how do we draw the defense to one side so we can play the switch, whatever that may be. So here we're kind of walking through this as low intensity. Maybe even do this as kind of like a walkthrough, maybe do walking soccer here. Go at 30% before you even start your warm-up just to get them a sense of this is what the session is about. This is why we're trying to build out. These are patterns we're looking for when we build out. This is the thought process when we build out. This is where your positioning should be when we build out, all that kind of stuff. You can make it a little more high intensity, but it should be a lot of talking, a lot of walking throughs, a lot of questions, a lot of, well, what was your decision here? What did you see here? Why did you make that call? Oh, I don't know. That's not a great answer. We're looking for something. We're looking for a thought process here. We're trying to unlock a question, unlock an answer to a question, which is where is the defense pressing? So we're working through all of that through this. Now, the next one, I really like this one because I think it gives a great sense of the importance of build out and the risks of build out. So what I do is, and you might extend this if you have some bigger players, things like that. But I do, we'll say 3. No goalie. You can add a goal if you want. I like the concept without a goalie because you're immediately punished. And there's no, hey, well, goalie's hit our butt. So again, you can have more players, make the box a little bit bigger, whatever you want to do. But I have 1 player in the box, 2 players on defense outside the box. So the team in black is going to look to possess the ball in the 18. So it's narrow, which should be happening where the defense presses up and forces us to be a little bit narrow, a little flatter, not so narrow, less. We have less depth. We're crunched up here. So what I see a lot of is we play short 1-2s, player presses, and we find the switch. Now you're going to have to play through the middle here. You're going to have to find wide open spaces. You're going to have to play switches. You're going to have to play risky passes. You're going to have to play little outlet passes that allow you to play within very tight space and break out because that's the nature of playing within the 18. Now, if you lose the ball, the player in yellow can shoot on the empty net. So mistakes are immediately punished, just as in build-out play. When you make a pretty bad mistake in build-out, it's going to lead to a really good opportunity for the opposition. That's why we have gegenpressing. The concept of gegenpressing is the higher up the field you win the ball, or the quicker you win the ball in transition, the better chance you have of scoring. I've seen statistics where the percentages are in the teens if you're able to win possession in your own box, and it gets anywhere up between 40 to 60% chance of getting a shot off when you win it in the opponent's final third. So that's why they're pressing you. So understanding that mistakes here can lead to goal scoring opportunities for them. But clean play here and good thought process will open up the opposite defense and leave them in your own box and leave space behind. So there's a risk reward to playing at the back. And I think this drill, when you make a mistake, you are immediately punished because there's no goalie, it's open net. They just smack the ball in the back of the net. And then what I would do is usually I have the team switch then. Yellow scores, black goes on the outside. But every 5 passes from black, okay, another player in yellow comes in till you have all 3 in there. You have full 3v3. And then what I like to do is, we can make this a competition. How many passes can you complete before yellow is able to score a goal? How many passes can you get before yellow is able to take the ball, transition, and score a goal on you switch to the fields? So, eventually you're going to make a mistake, but the longer you can do it, the longer you're able to hold possession here without, the ball going out, the better you're going to be able to do play in these tight spaces and play build out. Now where I'd go from there, a little bigger here, is I'm going to box off half the field. And we'll have to build out here. Build out area, our own defensive third. And I'm going to put, my keyboard here. I'm going to put a goal here. And a goal, let's say here. And I'm going to have a goalie that's going to play a ball out. And we're just going to simulate this concept of receiving under pressure in our own defensive third here. And we're just going to simulate the build out. So the ball comes in from the goalie, comes to player black. We're trying to either play through to our wide area, play through our 6. And we can even add, if you want, if you're looking to play a little more direct, we're looking for, if you can hit the through ball to the channel here and have that ball further back. But I would have some kind of punishment that if they hit this shot and it doesn't make it, there's some kind of punishment because then you're just kind of losing possession there. So it's, again, creating that risk reward factor in our build-up play and having them understand, here's why we're doing it, and here's what can come from it, and here's the good things that can happen, here's the bad things that can happen if we try to play this way. And we're just recreating these situations over and over again and creating those repetitions of here's what's going to happen, here's how it's going to look when you're pressed, what can we do in our body position to move. We can add a neutral here or a bumper player here on the outside that acts kind of as our 6 checking in. So we're creating numerical overload, and that's what we want to talk about is always making sure we have numerical overloads in the build-out. So again, just recreating as many of those situations and types of spots you'll be in build-out to get players comfortable to play under that type of pressure. And where I would go from there is start your scrimmage up at the end of the session. I like to do it where basically we get rid of corners and we get rid of corners, we get rid of throw-ins, around the box. Everything just becomes a goal kick. And that goal, but to give the pressing team the advantage is they can't play long until they've made 2 or 3 passes, something along those lines. So it forces them to build out. And again, not saying this is how we have to play, but understanding when this drill, this is what we're going to do, and you're going to see how it's difficult when they press you, how it's difficult when you don't get the ball forward. So how we quickly create combinations to then be able to get the ball forward. And we're forcing constant repetition throughout the game of a game-like situation, playing build-out play. And you're going to see a lot of those things that we worked on in the session. Again, like this will happen several times in that build-out. You'll see this over and over again. And how are we able to take what we did here and drive that into a full 11v11 game? So I'd love to hear in the comment section some of the things that you do for working on build-out play. Some of the things how you get your players to understand the risk and reward and the concepts behind why you're building out in your tactics. So once again, my name is Matt Carroll, World Class Coaching, and we'll have Academy Sports Coach 2024. I hope this session finds you well.